start by taking on the governance topic, and I'll throw light on how ESG relates to you personally. Um, so what are the rule? Who sets the rules in your life, and what are some rules you follow? Uh, from this image, what do you grasp? Who are the rule makers in your lives? From the first image, what do you get?
Parents and government.
Yes,
English.
parents, yeah, parents and teachers, and then maybe when you're playing a sport, the umpires and the referees set the rules of your life. Right? Am I right? Anybody else chiming in? Yes, that's correct. Moving on to the next slide, please. In the same way that rules of your life are set, uh, governance pertains to how the internal rules of an organizations are set. And some of those rules can be, corruption and bribery, saying no to corruption and bribery, properly disclosing the accounts, that is, transparency and disclosures, and then being upfront about how the CEO salaries are, and whether people are being discriminated when the if there is a gender pay gap, and then the general ethics and policies of the organization. Moving on to the next slide, please. Social. So this social pertains in your life about how you conduct yourselves amongst the people around you. In the same way, moving on to the next slide, social in a business context pertains to how the people who are involved in the business are being treated. If they have proper safety mechanisms in place, like if they're given proper safety gear, or if they're being forced to carry out a certain task that they are not up to speed with, and what the harassment policies in the organizations are. And of course, you must be all well aware of uh, child labor being a big no. Next slide, please. Anyone know what this image is about? Do you think it's a real image? This is a very real image, unfortunately. What you've just seen is a graveyard of burnt tires. And there are about 4.2 crore tires here that were just burned to ashes. And the smoke was so thick it was visible from space. The reason for showing this slide to you is introducing the next topic, which is environment, and why it is so crucial in the ESG context. Next slide, please. So these are the problems that uh, throw up when uh, when the company is extremely profit motivated and bears no consequence. Their actions bear no consequence to how they leave an environment behind. For example, soil pollution, water pollution, air pollution, and deforestation. Next slide, please. Anyone know what is this 8.7 million statistic? 8.7 million is the total number of species in the world, plants, animals, and combined, and humans are just one out of the 8.7 million. The idea behind sharing this statistic with you was to highlight how we as a species have contributed to so much degradation with our selfish motives, and it should be our agenda from this point moving on, to grow in a way that is sustainable not only for us but also considerate of the other 8.7 million species out there.
Coming to the introduction, Sustainability Development Goals. It was a summit, a conference which was held on 25th September 2015. In that summit, total 193 countries participated. Many of the big leaders, presidents, and all joined this summit and discussed what are the main problems which are happening in the entire the world. So many leaders adopted some goals. Those goals are nothing but known as Sustainable Development Goals. These goals are in 17 in number. Okay, so these sustainable goals include ending poverty, fighting for the inequality, injustice, tackling the climate change by the end of 2030. So these 17 goals has specific targets to be achieved in the next 15 years. Coming to these goals, not only those countries, including government, private sector, civil society, and the people like us, students like you, everyone has their own responsibility to take care of the goals and be a part of it such that we can be a wonderful world. Ma'am, next slide. Yeah. So what are these sustainable development goals? As I said before, these are 17 goals. These are backed up by 169 mini targets. Okay, so this conference held for the 2 years negotiated between one of them and they come up with this 17 goals. Okay, all goals should be achieved and accessed every 5 intervals of time. Suppose they want to discuss in every 5 years that what goals are happening and what and not. So each and everything should be achieved by 2030 or 2025. So it depends upon the country to country. Okay, ma'am, next slide. Yeah. Okay. Before sustainability development goals, there are some other goals known as Millennium Development Goals. These Millennium Development Goals. So, what is the difference between MDG and SDG? MDG is only take care about developing countries, whereas SDG is not only for developing countries, the countries like underdeveloped countries, the countries like the developed countries, each and every country includes in SDGs, but only in MDGs, only developing countries they are concentrating. That is the reason they modified the MDG goals and renamed it as SDG in the summit. So what does SDG do? It addresses the root causes of poverty, universal need for development, and more. Okay, next slide. Yeah. So what is this SDG and why it is important? Sustainability development is nothing but improving the living conditions in the present without compromising resources for future generation. Suppose whatever the conditions we have, whatever the facilities or whatever the requirements do we have with our hand, with that help, with that facilities, with that requirements, how we can change the future, what are the goals or what are the development we can do the future without compromising the present. This is known as sustainability. Development is nothing but not sustainable when we spend use resources all. Suppose I have some 100 rupees in my hand. So, okay, I will spend 100 rupees everything now only for eating or something, buying chocolates, everything. For the tomorrow, I don't have any money to spend. So that is not the development, right? Development in the sense in 100 rupees, we have to spend some amount for the today and we have to plan some amount for the future. That is known as development. Okay, let me tell you a small Jonah story here. Jonah is a girl. She is very good at the studies. She used to take care of her everything. She used to help her father, mother, and all. She belongs to a farmer family. Her father is a farmer and grows vegetables and all without using pesticides in an organic way. Her mother is an cook and all, make delicious food, everything. They are not millionaires, they are poor. Okay, but what Jonah used to do, she never used to complain about what she don't have. She used to think what she had and what can good things can come out of it. So she never used to see if a new model phone launches into the market. She never used to feel jealous by seeing her friends and all. So she used to think about her future. She used to think about the family and all. So she is good at its studies. So what she is doing, she is helping her family in the farming, helping her mother in the home, and she is concentrating on the studies. So what in this sense what we can understand from the story is what the things she had in her hand, she is utilizing in a proper way to develop a good future. Okay, next slide, ma'am. Okay, these are the 5 P's of SDGs. 5 P's are people, prosperity, planet, partnership, and peace. People in the sense we, society. We just know ma'am has showed the poverty in the hunger picture and all. There are many people are lack of food, they are suffering, they are eating on only one food item, they are sharing it everything. So there are not only them, there are many people dying without food, without poverty, without basic amenities like food, water, clothing and shelter. So in order to that, we people have to share everything or come up with the ideas as that no one should be in poverty or hunger. That is the first P. Coming to prosperity. Prosperity in the sense, the meaning of the prosperity is the condition of being successful and ensuring that fulfilling the lives in harmony with nature. Coming to peace. Peace in the sense we should not be in a violence, we should be in very peace and forceful, including societies, etc. Partnership. Partnership is very important because in order to achieve something, in order to do something that we alone can't do anything, right? We need to take some of help. We need to take care of one country. Like ma'am said, if suppose US is following the goals, if India is not following, then US will be good, then India will be affected. So it is not like that. We have to, there is a good quotation, right? Unity in diversity. So we have to partner with everything. We have to take help of everything. We have to, as a partners, we have to move ahead to achieve these goals. Planet. If we follow all these P's, automatically our planet, we can protect our planet. At the end, we are living in a one planet. So if we protect our climate, if we protect our people, if we protect the peace with the help of partners and assigning with everyone, automatically we can be a good planet to achieve these goals. Next slide, ma'am. Yeah, these are the 17 goals. The first goal is no poverty. Second one, zero hunger, good health, quality education, gender equality, and many more. These are the 17 sustainability development goals. In I said in the starting, right? They discussed a summit was there in. They discussed the 17 sustainable development goals. These are that goals. Ma'am, next slide. Okay. Now these 17 goals, they divided into three. There are biosphere, society, and economy. What does biosphere mean? The land below the earth or above the land, that is not biosphere. In this biosphere, there are four goals supporting for that. That is clean water, sanitation, life below land, life on the land, and climate change. So in order to protect the biodiversity or biosphere is an essential for social justice and economic development. If we do not achieve the goals related to the clean water, sanitation, and all, it is impossible to achieve the remaining goals. So biosphere, in the sense, we can say that is a short-term goals for us. Coming to the society, the goals addressing the society issues call for the eradication of poverty and improvement. Social justice such as peace, good health, social development depends upon the biosphere. As I said, if we uh, take care of the biosphere goals, automatically it will impact the society, and we can address the goals such as no power, zero hunger, peace, good health according to that. So by this we can say that it is a medium term goal. Biosphere is the short term goal, society is the medium term goal. Coming to the economy is the long term goal. Building the biosphere and society, automatically we can say that we are head in a good position that we can build our economy. Economy is our long term goal. It includes decent work, economic growth, environmental degradation, etc. So these three are divided into, SDG goals are divided into three targets such as long-term goals, short-term goals, and medium-term goals.
When we talk about ESG and we talk about carbon and pollution, what is that one word that comes to mind when we speak about these things? Okay, yes, I've got climate change, global warming, ice cap melting, ice at the polars are reducing, all correct. But what's the word that comes to mind when we talk about pollution, carbon, global warming, heating? That we should live our lives in a dash way. What's the word? That companies have to think of. Very nice, VG1, good. Full marks, absolutely. We are talking about being mindful. We are talking about sustainability. Yes. So sustainability is the topic for today's workshop. And we are going to talk about how is it that we can solve these problems. So you young people today are not only the future generation, we know you all are the future generation, but you are going to be the problem solvers. And that is what today's workshop is about. So first, let's understand the problem, and then we will get into the solution, which is why today's workshop is called ESG for Sustainable Ideation. And we are first going to look at what the problem is and then ask you to come up with solutions. So question number 1 has already been done. Absolutely right. This is the polar ice caps melting. Poor polar bears are losing habitat. Where they lived, now they cannot live because the ice caps are also melting and their habitat is being affected. Okay. Ready for the next question? What is the problem we are seeing in this image? You have to write the problem in the chat. Or you can even unmute and give me the answer. The child who's sitting next to the device, if that is faster, you can unmute. Very nice. War. Yes. Rooms 5 and 6. Humanitarian crisis. Very good. Room 1. Very nice. What else? War situation. Absolutely right. Geopolitical war side effects. Very nice. Room 2. Yes, absolutely. The problem that we are seeing in the world around us today is war, conflicts, and what happens to people during war and conflicts. Why does that soldier have that baby in his lap? Maybe the baby is injured, maybe the baby is lost. VG room 1, go ahead, your hand is raised. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe the army people were launching any operation and they found this baby stuck somewhere, so they are trying to save.
Lovely, very nice. Yes, they may have been launching an operation and they found this child stuck. Maybe the whole building was bombarded and the child was stuck there, or maybe the child was looking for his or her parents and they are trying to help out. So it's not just the problem, which is war, conflict, but it is also the effects that that problem causes in our lives. Very good. Let's go to the next one. Question 3. What are we seeing here? What's happening here? People who don't have the resources, that's why it's overcrowded. And yes, there is social segregation. Only a few have the resources, the inequality. Very good. VG room 7 that we are seeing. Next question, please. Okay, everyone has seen this picture. Give me a 1 in the chat quickly if you have seen this picture earlier. Let's see how quick you all are. And you're not sleeping after lunch.
Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan.
Yes. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. But what is the problem? Okay, I'm getting a lot of yeses in the chat. Pollution. Okay, pollution. What else is the problem? What else is the problem? Yes, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, we've already said that. Problem kya hai yahan? Sanitation. Yes, absolutely right. Sanitation and disposal of waste. हम लोग इतना गंदगी पहले तो क्रिएट करते हैं और फिर सब जगह फेंक देते हैं. Then we spread the waste. Solid waste management, garbage. और दिल्ली में तो आप लोग बच्चे तो दिल्ली में रहते नहीं है, पर दिल्ली में तो एक पूरा माउंटेन बन गया गार्बेज का. एक नहीं, बहुत सारे. Garbage management, absolutely right. So the problem is, 1, there is so much garbage we are creating. And 2, then we don't know what to do. So we are making mountains of that garbage because we cannot manage the garbage that we are all creating. Yes, which leads to dirt, which leads to diseases, and there are sanitation problems. Very well. Let's go. Next question, please. Okay, what is the problem here? What is the
Water
problem here?
pollution. Water pollution.
Very nice. Yes, water pollution. Our oceans are getting polluted. Water bodies are getting polluted. Animals are getting polluted.
The marine
Yes,
animals, they are stuck or entangled in the nets which are laid by the fishermen or the people.
absolutely. Very nice. VG Room 5. That is absolutely correct. There is so much pollution, plastic nets that have gone into the ocean that it is killing the ocean life or the marine life. Not only is it dirtying the water, yes, it is the terror of plastic waste. Not only is it dirtying the water, it is also killing the marine life. The marine animals are eating up this plastic. And for the ones who eat fish and other marine life, that microplastic is coming into the human body as well. So there is a problem with all of this, with the dirtying and the pollution of our oceans. All right, and let's move on to our next question. Okay, what is the problem here? What are we seeing here? Hunger, very nice.
We see hunger and poverty. Kids are not getting proper food and they are sharing among themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Malnutrition, hunger, poverty. Very good, very well done, students. That is exactly what this picture is trying to convey. And let's quickly move to the next slide, which is going to put all of these problems together on one. So these are all the problems that we have looked at, discussed, and mentioned right now. And before this, we have also spoken about carbon. We have spoken about air pollution. So we can add all of those problems to all of this. And when we put all of these problems together, there were some organizations that decided that these problems are not just problem for some countries. These are problems that every country in the world is facing. So they put all of these problems together and they said every country has to come up with a solution. Only then can we solve these problems. Not that India is solving the problem, but America is going to carry on polluting. Air will still be bad. Or if America is doing it, but Europe is not doing it, we will still have problem. There will be war and conflict somewhere. So every country in the world has to decide and has to come up with the solutions to these problems. So what the United Nations did was to come up with what is called the Sustainable Development Goals. Very, very interesting to see how even the Sustainable Development Goals, these 17 goals, have been put under short-term, medium-term, and long-term aspects or long-term goals. Something that affects our planet, affects our environment, affects where we live, the biosphere, and then a lot of problems that affect us as human beings, whether that is quality education, whether that is, problems that women face, or it is about the cities. We don't have the correct kind of transport. We don't have, means of getting to good education, poverty, all of those problems that impact us directly. And then if our lives are better and if where we live, the area around us is better, automatically there will be prosperity and there will be economic growth. So that is how the SDGs have been divided and have been segregated. All right. So students, I hope you've all got a sense of what sustainable development goals are and what sustainability means. Now we are going to move you into a different track, and that is called ESG. So what What is sustainability and how is sustainability connected to ESG? Let's find out. And again, I'm going to request somebody who is going to be close to the device, maybe a different child this time, who can put in the answers in the chat. So let's do it on rotation. Not the child who was answering earlier, but somebody else. Come on, quick. I'm going to give you all 10 seconds to switch. Let's see the switch happening in all the rooms. Somebody else now comes up to the device to put in the answers. All right, thank you. Sitapur room 5, thank you for making the switch. What about VGB 1? Bulandshahr room 1, Bulandshahr room 4. Do we have, and Bulandshahr room 2? Are we already switched? Very good. You all are really, really quick. Fantastic. Okay, I've got a thumbs up also. Okay, so now let's fire those neurons in your brain and let's ask you the next set of questions. Question 7. What do you think is the rank of India in the SDG index? Wow, VGB3, even before I gave the answer, the question, the answer was already there. This is fantastic. You can see our guests from FactSet can see how bright our students and aware our students are. All right, wonderful. Yes, C is the correct answer. Let's move to question number 8. Okay, A, B, C, or D. Which SDG is considered the greatest global challenge? A, B, C, or D? Which is the greatest global challenge? Come on. Okay, I have an A. Somebody saying A. Somebody saying D. I have got a lot of A's coming in. Okay, there is a B also, and then there is a D. Here's another A. All the rooms are not done. I'm still waiting. Okay, there are a lot of A's that are coming in. The correct answer is D, no poverty. Correct answer is D. That is the greatest global challenge. Okay, next question. What is the full form of ESG? We learned about SDG. All right. I already have the answers coming in. Option C, option C. It's an undivided house. Wow, our kids know it all. Yes, absolutely correct. Environment, social and governance is ESG. All right, next question. Okay, what are the principles of ESG? A, B, C, or D? Okay, fantastic. The answers are coming in the chat. So far, everyone has said D. D. All right, wonderful. A round of applause for all of these bright young students. Yes, absolutely right, students. It is all of the above. Understanding the sustainability performance. Remember what Dhuplata ma'am told you in the beginning. Understanding the performance of companies, monitoring their progress and impact through the matrix that Dhuplata ma'am spoke to you about. That is what you young people need to be doing and will be doing as you grow. So don't worry that you're only 16 or 18. You guys are the key. You guys are the solution to these problems that we are facing today. So let's quickly take one step towards that solution. Imagine if you were the Prime Minister of India. All right. What is that one problem you think is the biggest problem our country is facing? I'm going to give you all 10 seconds to think about it. Put it on a piece of paper. All right. And you can put it on chat. Okay. I already have poverty coming in. Some of you mentioned poverty. Some of you mentioned hunger. Some of you mentioned equality as the problems that we are facing today. Let's see what this one company did to solve a problem like hunger and inequality of food for people in the country. Give me a 1 in the chat if you have heard of this company called Mumbai Dabbawalas. Let me see how many of you are aware. Give me a 1 in the chat. Mumbai Dabbawalas. Okay, I already have yeses coming in. Okay, fantastic. So everyone here has heard about the Mumbai Dabbawalas. And the Mumbai Dabbawalas actually take dabbas, which are tiffin, for people who work in Mumbai. They order and they say, okay, I want tiffin from this month. And every day the tiffin will come and then the empty boxes will be picked up. And next day they will get something fresh as tiffin for their lunch in the office. So let's take a look at this video and see how the Mumbai Dabbawalas solved this problem, or at least tried to solve this problem of hunger. All right. So look at the magnitude of the problem. See how big that problem was. So many hundred thousands of children in Mumbai who were going hungry. And all it took was a small little red dot sticker to say share. So the most sustainable and the best solutions are the simplest ones that we can think of. But the thing is that we have to get together and be able to come up with a solution.